How do
Oops.
you accidentally become a Christian? I got to ask that question.
Right, right. Well, maybe accident for me. So the people that I partied with on the weekends invited me to go to church camp with them. And I thought, man, all the hot guys are going. So yeah, I want to go. And, good logic there.
I like
And
it.
so I go
mean,
to this church camp and honestly, from the very first night, God was just opening my heart. And I remember going back to the room the first night with my best friends and saying, I feel as though I have been living life for me.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot more. I think God might be real. And their response was, oh yeah, that's just church camp. And when we go back home, we still party and do all the things. So don't worry, we can, have your camp high. And I just remember going to bed being like, I'm not sure. And then by the end of the week, I was like sold out. I love Jesus. I got baptized.
Yeah.
I called my grandparents. I was like, guess what? I'm a Christian. And I came home. My family thought I was crazy. I was reading my Bible all the time. I was just this totally new person who I felt so in love with God. And in that place, I went to college pursuing this full ride athletic scholarship that I've been working my whole life for. And my world kind of turned upside down. This sport that I loved so much became such a source of pain for me. I had a really abusive coach and tried to transfer, but couldn't get released from my scholarship. And so there was a bunch of NCAA stuff going on there. And I really hurt my back. And I would have to be like carried off and on the court. And the whole goal was just for me to get playable. And so after kind of 2.5 years of that, I was just at this place where I was so burnt out of this thing that had brought me so much life for so much of my life. And finally, I was kind of at my breaking point. And, long story short, a bunch of different little things happened. And I found myself walking away from a full ride scholarship into a 45,000 student school to transferring to a small Christian school with 3,000 people, becoming a Bible major. I was one of the only women in my major because I was in the South, land of like Baptist land where,
Wow.
Girls go to college to get their MRS degree and, girls don't really speak in church. So that's cute that you're getting your little Bible major, pat, pat, pat on the head. So yeah, my 18 to kind of 20 was a lot of shifting. And then there's the whole other layer of family stuff going on at that time. My dad was a drug addict and completely out of my life at that time. So yeah, go ahead.
No. I was thinking because you got saved accidentally because you wanted to follow some good-looking guys, which
Right.
I ain't mad at that, because I think a lot of guys can say the same thing. I went to camp because I wanted to see this good-looking girl. So,
That's right.
So I can see that, but it seemed like God worked in you. Because you eventually ended up going to school to learn more and to dive deeper into His Word to really become a strong Christian. And I find it interesting that you are a Christian in New York City. And I know about New York. I'm not saying not all the people in New York City are just heathens and just going to hell. I'm not saying that. But I do got to ask this question because New York City is a party city. There's a lot of things that's going on in New York City. How does it feel to be a Christian in New York City?